Hello shooters, I'm Dr. Tactical, and today we are going to look at two really incredible revolvers. Now, many of you know that I have been going through a revolver phase for quite some time, and that phase has changed. It's matured or progressed. It's officially now a revolver problem. It's no longer a phase, it's a genuine problem. Now, I understand that the first step in getting better is to admit when you have a problem, and I admit it because I love revolvers. And I really love purposefully built revolvers, which is another way of saying tactical revolvers. Revolvers that have rail systems on them that allow for optics and flashlights and just are built with purpose in mind. I love them. Now, I know there's a lot of purists who love their classical revolvers out there, and I enjoy classical revolvers too. And in fact, I'll pause for a second out of respect for you guys. I will let you run your medicine cabinets and take your Compazine suppositories, and then you can come back and tolerate, hopefully, the rest of this video. So what we have today is we've got a Korth NXS 4-inch, and then we also have the Smith & Wesson Performance Center Model 327 TRR8. That TRR8 stands for Tactical Rail Revolver, and the 8 stands for 8-shot. Both of these revolvers are 8-shot revolvers. They are incredible, and I can't wait to share them with you. I'm Dr. Tactical, and the doctor will see you now. Welcome back to the channel, and those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy what you see, and if you do, please consider hitting that like button, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really greatly helps the channel. And as long as you're hitting all these buttons, you may as well hit that notification bell, and that will let you know when more highly entertaining and educational content like this is being released. So hop right on those buttons. Go ahead and do it now. All right, let's get into the video. So we have two incredible revolvers to look at today. And this is not going to be a long video because really today we're just looking and comparing these two revolvers. I have a third revolver that's going to get thrown into this mix in July. And that revolver is a Spore Club Edition. I am really excited about that. Many of you have commented and said things about the video here that I did back when I was at SHOT Show in 25. I had the opportunity to sit down and hang out and talk with Thomas Spore, and we made a video, and it was just really a valuable time spent, and I really was impressed with his craftsmanship, his guns, and just his depth of knowledge. And I was really hoping to have that with these other guns, but the problem is I live in the state of Maryland, and the state of Maryland is not a gun-friendly state. It's got a lot of other positives. It's a beautiful state, and crabs are great, and I love our sports teams. However, when it comes to guns, it sucks. So anyway, my friend Ron is the one who actually got this gun. He's going to lend it to me, and he has gone through the processes of getting it into or onto our roster, and it looks like he should have ownership by July. And we'll get there out here for you guys to see, and we'll look at them all together, and we'll be able to take them all to the range at that time too, and that'll be fun. All right, but on to today's comparison, because truthfully, this TRR8 was a surprise to me, and I'll explain that in a moment. You guys have had the opportunity to really see the Korth before on this channel. It's my friend AT's. He lends this to me pretty much whenever I ask him, and he's just been wonderful. Thank you, AT. You're the man. Anyway, it's a beautiful gun, very nicely made. It just oozes quality. Now, both of these guns were purposely built. And we'll get into the TRR8's purpose in a moment. I think the purpose of the Korth is just to be awesome. That's its job. They just put the top best. It's kind of like the Wynn Hotel when it opened in Vegas. Like all these hotels have different themes. So, you know, what's your theme? They asked Steve Wynn. He's like, the best of everything, just the best. And that's what we're looking at here. They really spared no expense, and guess what? They spared no expense when it comes to charging. they expect you to spare no expense as well. And you know, it's if you got it, it's worth it, I have to say. So what we have here is we've got a really nice steel frame. Now they do make this gun, this is the NXS. They make an NXA. So the S stands for the steel frame. This is a steel frame, a steel barrel shroud. It's a hammer forged barrel. The shroud is vented for weight, for some weight reduction. But again, this is not a light gun. And they do the A model that I was talking about, the NXA, instead of being steel, it's actually anodized aluminum, the shroud is, and that makes it significantly lighter. I think it's like 6 ounces lighter. So it makes a big difference. But a gun like this, really, you're not concealing a gun like this, most likely. I know there's people who are going to come on telling me that they conceal it all the time. Good for you. But the fact of the matter is, this is a good home defense gun. This is a good range gun. This is a good hunting gun. It's a heavy gun, and for that reason, it also is a great mitigator of a recoil. So that weight works in your favor. So it's not always a negative to have heft. So you got nice sights on the front of it they have panels, and the panels are removable. You've got a fully adjustable sight on the back. However, you've got rails. So if this gun were mine, I would have an optic on it. And this gun is probably going to be mine, and it's going to have an optic on it, and we'll get to that in a moment. It also has a lower rail. Now, both the rails on this, on the top and bottom, are integrated into the frame. So these are built in. So if you want to put a light or a laser or something down here, you certainly can. And we've got these really nice Turkish walnut grips that they just hug you back when you hold them. It's really, really nice. Very well built. Now, let's talk about, we'll come back to this, but let's talk about Smith & Wesson's Performance Center Model 327 TRR8. The TRR8 stands for Tactical Rail Revolver, and you can see we've got a top rail and we've got a bottom rail. Now, these rails, if you look closely, you can see they have screw holes in them. And that is because when you buy this gun and it does not have the rails attached. And not only does it have the ability to put these on, you can also put directly into these holes screws that give it more of a finished look on the top instead of just having screw holes in there. And same thing on the bottom. So if you choose only to put an optic on it and not a light or laser, you can lose this. Take this off if you want and just put the screws on. Same thing on the top. If you choose not, if you love this bead sight, the front brass bead that it has, and the adjustable rear sight, and that works for you, then there's no need for you to have the rail on the top, except for some additional weight that may be what you're looking for to help mitigate recoil, as we were talking about. So in that case, you can take the rail off if you choose to. So it's a very modular gun, and you really can make choices with. Now, this gun, talk about design. This gun was designed for tactical purposes. This gun was designed, as I've been told and as I've seen, or read, I should say. This gun was designed for SWAT teams. This is a tactical revolver, and it was built with tactics in mind. So the purpose of this is for somebody who's holding a shield and holding the gun out in front, because one of the things we've talked about before with revolvers, using them in a defensive situation, is you may not be shooting from an ideal position, or there may be obstacles, or there could be things that you're working around, and even though you practice and have a great grip and firm wrists, you could limp wrist, or something can happen to keep the gun from cycling properly. Well, if you're holding it in front of a shield and you're going forward and you pull the trigger and that reciprocating slide comes back and hits your shield, it's not going to have the energy to come back and strip a bullet and go for the next shot. So this gun just became, or not this gun, but a semi-auto just became a one-shot gun. And you're holding a shield in the other hand that's there for a reason. You don't want to put that down and tap, rack, and bang. A revolver does not have that problem. A revolver will fire every time you pull the trigger, no matter what's right behind it. So this is, this is purpose built, and that was the design, and I love that. I love that it has a tactical heritage, that it was designed that way. So this gun was built just with the best of everything that they could, put in. This gun was built for hard, real life use. So as a result, some of the beauty stuff wasn't included. I would love to see walnut grips on this, although these rubberized grips are absolutely functional and feel good. I have not fired this gun. There is a steel strap back here, the back strap. And I should point out also this particular frame, if you look at this gun, it's the surface coating is called Armorite. It's so you have black and stainless steel over here on the shroud, and you've got black and stainless steel on the cylinder, but the frame itself is scandium, and the scandium is a much lighter alloy. So this gun is a lot lighter than it looks, and if you take these rails off, the gun becomes even lighter. I was surprised at how light this gun actually is for the size. And if you look at the difference, if the scandium, the way it reflects light, it's more of a matte finish versus on the cylinder and on the barrel shroud here, which are have a higher sheen to them. So it's a nice finish. However, we'll get to the actual trigger function in a second. But just to show you the difference, look at the trigger and look at the hammer on this gun. So this gun has been fired a lot by me. So I don't know how much AT himself has fired it, but I can tell you I've had the opportunity and taken advantage of the opportunity that he has given me and really had a chance to shoot this gun quite a bit. And I have to tell you that trigger and that hammer are gorgeous. Now, when we look at this gun, to the best of my knowledge, has never ever been fired. I mean, maybe by the factory before they sent it out, but this is how it was sent out of the box, brand new. So let's look at the trigger and look at the hammer. So, I mean, from a aesthetic issue, it's and I'm assuming I'm 99% sure these are MIM parts, the metal injected molding. So does that affect the function? Not really. Now this is a performance center trigger, but I would think that they would get this thing. I know that Smith & Wesson's capable of it because I own the Lipsy's mountain gun. And I have it in the 629, and that thing is beautiful. And the trigger's nice and chrome-like, and as is the hammer. Just looks nice. And this is really their top of the line when it comes to tactical guns. And I guess it's just I don't know. It just would look nicer if they put the effort into it. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm not going to beat that up anymore. So the next question is, how are the actual triggers themselves? Before we do that, I talked about the coating on that. So this has a DLC coating on it. And both the vented shroud, the cylinder, the frame are all stainless steel on this. As I mentioned, they make an A version, the NXA, where usually this part is green or red. I've seen it both ways. And it's the anodized aluminum, and it's lighter. But you can see everything's very consistent with the color on this, and these grips are just magnificent. Really nice. Okay, so let's feel the trigger. Now, I was going to weigh them to show you the difference, because this gun's clearly heavier than this gun, but it's not really a fair comparison. And the reason I say that is this is a 4-inch barrel, and this is a 5-inch barrel. So once you start getting into different size guns, the weight thing's not fair. But they're both, one other thing. So they're both 357, and check this out, by the way. This is how you release the cylinder back here. And what you have, they're both 8-shot revolvers. So Here we're looking at an 8-shot cylinder. So you can shoot, obviously, 357, and you can shoot 38 special and 38 plus P and plus P plus and what have you. Obviously, this gun can handle it. But what else it can do is the button on this side, if you push it, allows you to take this cylinder off, and you can now use another cylinder, which you buy separately, I'm sure, that takes 9mm. Now these are cut for what do you call them? Moon clips, and now I believe with the 9mm you have to use moon clips. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure you do, since they're semi-autos and they're it doesn't really have the lip to sit out, of the cylinder. But anyway, that's a really nice feature. I am a huge fan of moon clips when it comes to reloading. I just find that they really are nice ways to, first of all, to eject, because everything comes out, everything comes out in one piece. And if you're a reloader, you have all your shells sitting there together, and then you can just sort of throw in your next round and go. It's a very nice way to do it. The only downside, and you need to know this if you're going to carry them in your pocket, is that the moon clips can get bent. And if the moon clips get bent, that can affect the ability of of the cylinder to rotate, and it can affect basically it can jam your gun up. So you're taking a revolver, which is known for being reliable, and you're introducing something kind of like a magazine into a gun. That could be the weak point that can cause, into a gun, into a semi-auto. So if you're going to carry moon clips, now I'm saying all this, I've never had a hiccup ever with a moon clip, ever, and I've used them a lot. However, I also haven't taken them into hostile situations. It's been mostly range work and just sort of carrying them around throughout the day. But I don't believe I've ever bent one. I've never had an issue. But I know that it can happen, and it does introduce that into the situation. So just something to think about, because, again, these are tactical guns as well. All right, real quickly before we get to the trigger aspect of these, let me take that thing out. So again, we've got an 8-shot cylinder. So that's super cool, So if this is your you've got your shield in front of you, the SWAT guys, and they've got it out. Now remember, I'm a dentist. I have no police training. I have no military training. I have some shooting training, a little bit. But mostly I'm a gun enthusiast. But as I understand it, you've got this shield out in front of you, and to have 8 shots that are going to go off is, that's got to be a nice peace of mind to have. All right, let's look at the triggers. Let's check these out. So this is a Performance Center trigger here, and let's see how it stages if I want to do it. Actually, let's just pull it straight through. It's very smooth. There's no grit in it, but I definitely can feel where if I want to stage it, I can easily do it. All right, maybe not easily. There you go. So that's really nice. Now let's try the Korth. Oh my God. Okay, so I got to tell you, I know that the Performance Center really puts their heart into it, but that's really nice. This is really nice. All right, we'll do weights in a minute. Let's try single action. I already know how that's going to go. Yeah, talk about your glass rod. All right, let's try this one in single action. Actually, this is crisper in single action. Wow, I really don't even feel it moving. And it has a screw back here that you can set to stop it from going back. So, you can set where it stops. But I'm going to try and do that really where you guys can see this. There's virtually nothing. That's amazing. All right, let's try. Let me go back to this. Back to the Korth here. I mean, this is a damn good trigger. I'm not in any way taking away from this trigger, but the this one's better in single action. In double action, this is way smoother, and you can, even being smooth like that, you can still stage it. I don't know. Again, I'm really liking this one too, but the Korth is smoother in double action. Let's try the trigger scale here. We'll just do 3 of everything. Let's see what we got. All right, let's do double action on the Smith & Wesson here. Oh, I should point out, so the Smith & Wesson has a much larger trigger guard here. So I guess if you're wearing gloves, which probably is more, you know, it doesn't look larger, but it is larger. I don't know how well you can see that. You definitely can get more in there. All right, let's try this. Now, a highly curved trigger, 10 pounds, 4.9 ounces. Let's enter that. Makes this challenging because you want to be on the same spot every time. 9 pounds, 7.9 ounces. Okay. 9 pounds, 12.3 ounces. Let's see what that averages. 9 pounds, 14.4 ounces is the average on that. All right, let's try double action on the Korth. So it's under 10 pounds. That's decent. Double action. See, now it's hard for me to get that into the trigger. All right. 7 pounds, 11.4 ounces. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to clear it from the other one, so let me just delete everything. Let's start new. Yeah, it's just challenging to get it in there, but here we go. 5 pounds, 13.9 ounces. Wow. All right, let's try that again. 5 pounds, 13.3 ounces. 4 pounds, 7.4 ounces. Wow. I mean, that does feel much lighter. Wow, that's all right. So that's pretty. It's still a safe trigger, even with that. I mean, that's still a very safe trigger. I'm still comfortable carrying that defensively. It's certainly not a hair trigger, but since we're talking hair triggers, let's try single action. Let me clear this. Let's try single action on the Smith & Wesson on the TRR8 here. 4 pounds, 5 ounces. I don't know. I might have overpulled that, though. Let's see. 4 pounds, 9.5 ounces. £3 pounds, 13.8 ounces. So the average is 4 pounds, 7.2 ounces. All right. Let's try that. Let me clear it. Let's try single action on the Korth. Here we go. 3 pounds, 8.2 ounces. 3 pounds, 11.2 ounces. 3 pounds, 3.1 ounces. So 3 pounds, 9.7 ounces. Down here. So the trigger is, it's, even though the trigger's heavier on the Smith & Wesson in single action, it just doesn't move. It just doesn't, that's it. I mean, I don't feel any movement at all. I feel my finger putting pressure, and then it goes, and my finger still feels like it was where it started. Let's try it on this. And I just feel the slight movement with that. Double action, all day long, Korth. That's my take on it. You guys try it, see what you think. Anyway, these guns are both great. I can't wait to shoot them. This one's on loan to me by the Gun Tree Club of Maryland. Neil lent it to me. He lets me do anything I want to them but shoot them. Which means, and he knows what it means, I got to buy the damn thing. Oh, I want to show you one other cool thing. When it comes to ejecting, you know, this is sort of your typical ejection here. Check out Korth's setup. So I showed you this. Look up here. You see that? This up here is going in when I push this through, and that's part of what's disengaging it. So this part here, it's like a detent that goes in. So that is really cool. So you can see that just sort of push the detent out. Make sure I have that lined up. Okay. That's it. I made my point. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry. I've got two cameras I'm working at here and looking at both because I want to make sure you guys can see what I want you to see. I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you'll get to see in July when I have the Spore on board to play with too. Thank you guys for your time. Please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and hit the notification bell. I'm Dr. Tactical. Dr. Tactical out.